Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lifeboat here. I apologize. I really wanted to get this done at least once a week. And it's been 2 weeks now, but this shop kind of transformed into Santa's little workshop for a while, so the focus changed on me for a week or two here. But perhaps I'll show you what was going on in here after Christmas. Anyway, so what's new in the boat? Well, let me take you for a little tour and I'll show you. Oh, like I say, not a whole lot has happened, but I did get all the forms cut. There they all are. I'll show you and I'll show you the next step. So, before I get these mounted onto the strong back here, I need to take them all. You can see I cut them out on a bandsaw, and you can see the cut line versus the actual line that's there. I got to bring this back to the actual line. And I do that with a sander. I'll show you in a second. And I bring them like this. Now you just take it so the line is right at the actual curve. And these are nice and, the curve is nice and fair now. There's no wobbles in it, nice and smooth. So I have to do that to all of them before I mount them on there. And I did it with this saw here. So you can do this with a random orbit sander. That's how I did it on the first couple of canoes that I built. Somewhere along the way or two, I'll have to show you a canoe that I built. Well, not today. But, so I did it on here. This does it better than the random orbit sander. It's faster. And this plane here is 90 degrees to this plane. So it makes this edge here a perfectly 90-degree angle. So, and that's important to get that kind of trueness in those forms. So, for tools, I would say the number one most important tool is starting with some learning. I built canoes first, so this is where I started. Canoe craft, highly recommend it. Even if you're not even building a canoe, if you're going to build a rowboat, start with this, because this has every step you can possibly imagine in it. I read it cover to cover 2 or 3 times before I started construction of the canoes. Even while I was building the canoes, I referred back to it step by step as I went along. It's that, you need that. A good mentor is really, really helpful as well. And this is what I sanded those forms with when I built the canoes. Well, not this one, but a almost identical one. Random orbit sander. They work great, and this will get used on this project as well, sanding the hull fair. Japanese pole saw is a must. Love them because they had an extremely thin blade. They cut on the pole stroke. They're very accurate, very fast cutting. You need something like this. You need a good little block plane. You're going to need all the clamps you can beg, borrow, or steal. You're probably going to need about 30 of them. I think I might have enough. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But I should be good to go. This year, I splurged and bought myself a bandsaw. First when I did it, I cut them out with a jigsaw. They're probably both about the same in the quality of the cut, but this is a lot faster, and my shop needed one. And I also am employing a thickness planer, although you really don't need it to build this boat. So there we are with the boat. Now next week, hopefully we'll have some forms set up on there. You can kind of see how that goes as we go. So there we are. But I wanted to, I'm gonna try. I'm just learning this as I go, but I'm gonna try and figure out how to make sure that the comments are enabled so that anybody who wants to can comment, and I'll try and comment back whenever I can, and what I'm trying to do here actually is start a conversation, not so much about the boat, but about everything else. So you can build your own lifeboat. For me, this is just my way of staying sane in the madness. So you can do whatever works for you. Maybe you're into knitting, painting, playing music, whatever. But this is mine. So, and I think for me personally, community is the most important thing in this absolutely crazy times. If you don't have community, build it now. That's what I would say anyway is most important. Your community is where your resources come from. It's where you have your sense of belonging, so on. I don't know, to me, that's pretty important stuff, you know, and this whole utter nonsense that they're foisting upon us, you know, I'm going to ask you a little question, what you think. What do you think? What does this have in common with global warming? I would say it has everything to do with global warming, the pandemic. It's brought to you by the same people. It's an equal lie. As time goes on, in the last couple of years, everybody by now senses there's something wrong. A lot of people can't quite put the finger on it. But if you watch my last video, and you watch that video series, or even the very first video, Fall Cabal, the sequel on BitChute, you'll have a really, really, really good idea what I'm talking about. The controllers are controlling you. They have always controlled you. You know, all the world wars, everything. It was not what we were told. We were sold a freaking lie. We've always been sold a lie. I'll give you an example. For global warming, the lie that is global warming, we're going into a grand solar minimum. The last time there was a grand solar minimum 400 years ago, which grand solar minimums happen about every 400 years, we used to skate on the River Thames in England. And it used to reach 30 below in London. Sure as hell doesn't now, but it will again. So, I don't know if it's in our lifetime, but it will again. So is there climate change? Absolutely. Is it man-made? No. I'm not saying man does not make a big mess of the world by pollution and the world like that, but global warming is not man-made. It's an utter lie. Man, all of humanity, uses 410 gigajoules of energy per annum. Now, we don't use it up, we recycle it. They know that, and now you know that. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. One of the first laws of physics. So, we use oil, say, to run your car, or diesel to run your truck, and so on, heat your home. And it turns into numerous different things. One of them is carbon dioxide, and they vilify that. But hey, at the end of the day, carbon dioxide is fertilizer for plants. Plants absorb it. And in a million years, when the plants and trees die over and tip into the swamp and so on, they turn into oil again. Will we run out of oil? Maybe one day. Who knows? That's not what I'm talking about here. But we're all told a freaking lie. So all of humanity uses 410 gigajoules of energy per annum. The sun expends upon the earth 430 gigajoules of energy per hour. So all of humanity recycles less energy in a year than the sun expends in 1 day on the earth. So is man-made climate change or global warming a lie? 110% it is. So, you know, I wanted to bring up today about, I hear a lot of people talking about what they are going to do to us next. They are going to bring the digital ID. They are going to enslave us doing this and that and the other thing. And here's what I see the major problem with that. They plan on doing that. No doubt about it. And it's a good idea that you know what their plan is. But you have to stop saying that they are going to do it. Because you are a powerful creator. And when you start speaking what they are going to do to you, you are creating your future in their image. So start talking about how you are going to live. See, I'm going to live free, no matter what. That's just non-negotiable. You start saying you're going to start living free. It's non-negotiable. Do not give your power away. Speak to the future that you expect to live, and you will move in that direction. 100% guaranteed. Do not give your power away. You're a powerful creator. You were designed that way. So one of the things that I, have lamented about in the past was about, where I grew up in Cape Breton. There's a really strong sense of community, and I haven't really found that in quite so many areas. And I really wanted to work to rebuild community, And so I just talked about it in my own head. And believe it or not, over the last year, my circle of influence, we now have a good, strong community right here in Terrace of very like-minded people who would stand shoulder to shoulder and die for each other, I believe. And that's the kind of people I want to be around. I want to be around really ethical people. When they give you the word, it's as good as a contract, better than a contract. So for me, community is everything. It's where my resources come from, basically, when you have a good, strong sense of community. I remember when one of my older brothers was passing away in Cape Breton, I noticed how everybody has their back there. People are coming to the wake, and the neighbors bring biscuits and stuff over and preserves and stuff like this. It's unbelievable. Their sense of community is really powerful there. Although I suspect a lot of parts of that community has been torn apart by, the powers that be during this scamdemic. They work to destroy that. Stay 6 feet apart, stay behind the glass, keep your face covered, all this BS. But there you have it. That's what they tried to do. Now all you have to do is just say, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not taking part in their BS at all anymore. You have to be aware of it to be able to walk away from it. But 100% non-compliance with their plan sets you free. You were born free. You should live free. And that will make your present life peaceful. It will give you the creative energy to go out and build a lifeboat if that's what you want to build. Build a garden. Build a community. I strongly encourage every one of you. Build a community. If you love gardening, get together with other local gardeners and put on a gardening clinic in the spring for people who don't know how to garden. Because we're going into some rough times. Designed rough times. We will need those resources for people. They are trying to kill agriculture. They started, look what they did in Holland, Netherlands. They're trying to do it in Canada. They've announced the same stuff in Canada. Just decide you're not going to do it. Create your own food source. Buy your pork from your local person who raises pigs. Buy your local beef. Learn to hunt. Go back to, and you'll be healthier in the end of it all, just by making your own stuff. I really lament not paying attention to Mum's canning procedures more when I was a kid. But I'm learning it now. I'm making up for that mistake. And me and friends, we share ideas on how to do it, on recipes and so on. I've shared numerous things with other people on it already. So anyway, just my thought process for the day. Look forward to the next video here coming up. I'm going to try to get it out here, in about a week. Maybe somewhere around the New Year or something. And hopefully you have a little bit of progress on the boat itself. And you're going to notice as the boat goes along, it goes in phases. Well, it seems like it goes in phases because it takes a long time to do certain things. In my mind, the boat is more than half done because I've done most of the homework already studying. That's the real That's the real key to building a boat of any kind. Learning how to do it, having a mentor. When I did the canoes, I had a good friend who'd built like 15 canoes already or something, you know, and he had improvements on what that book has. And I'm so glad I ran into them because like they were just such awesome ideas. And so when you have a mentor, they can walk you through the darkness on it or the weeds and stuff like that, you know. And so anyway, that's what it's all about, helping each other out and helping people through the weeds in life. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to start a conversation with people to open their eyes to what they are trying to do, but without your consent, they'll never do it. So stay strong, stay in the light, and you'll be just fine. I'll see you next time.